Um, these little pots I am going to do in my same grays again. So put them in order light to dark. The lightest area, you know it. Then the medium is right next to that. And my medium's a little darker than their medium, but that's all right, because remember I'm going to come back and blend in a little bit. Putting the shine basically on the right quarter area of it. And then my dark is going to be back here. Even though the window's right there, the light from outside outshines how far away that is from the window. So you have to take into consideration the distance, and that's why she has this done lighter than it is, or darker than what you would think it would be. You know what I just realized? I know you probably realized it a long time ago. We did her skin. I'm back to the medium again because I'm in the middle section. We did her face and we never did her hands. Oops. All right, let's finish this pot. So now I'm back to my original gray. I think I'm going to come in with white to blend that, just because it'll lighten the whole thing up a bit. Look at that. Yeah, I don't always use a real pointed pencil when I'm doing my blending, not necessarily. I did try to go around some of that big starred area right here and right here, instead of always going over the top. Okay, so get your urn or pot or whatever you want to call it, get that put in, and see it's lighter on this side. It's darker as we went back in here. And I'm telling you, when we get started with that jelly roll in a little bit, it is going to cover a multitude of what we think is wrong. Okay, now this one's got the light here and down here. Okay, there and there. Then the medium, whatever your medium gray is, all right, and then our dark, which is what's up underneath the edges of all these flowers and plants. It's the part that comes across here, comes across here, around the back, and some down here where it's sitting. Okay, I am going to deepen this a bit right in those areas on this one, so that we get that same effect over here. Okay, darker on this edge. I'm still in, right? Ooh, barely, but I am in. Okay, good. Y'all gotta speak up and tell me. And see how I'll blend that then. And it just makes that look like it's a little further back in there. All right, then I'm going to blend a little bit with this, and then I'm going to put that white in. That one's still just not as dark. I'm going to add just a bit. Do it sparingly. You can always add more. It's harder to take it off. So just play with your own colored pencils back and forth until you get the shade you want. Okay? And this pot will be more defined when we get that back in. But again, those pots are not my focal point. She is. So my whole background could blend in and I'd be okay. All right, so now I'm going to pick up my browns again. We're going to do this back wall. Same thing as before. Okay, the darker areas, because I chose dark brick. Okay. Yours, it depends on what color you've chosen. You know, it's up to you. It's always up to you on that part. Nobody can tell you what you prefer. Okay, I'm going to take these other books out from under. Had them underneath earlier when we were going up and down, closer and further away. I'm taking that out. Okay. It's just going to be easier for me to get this pushed around where I need it. Okay. Kind of going around that star. I mean, I got the edges of it and I'm okay with that, but I don't want to purposely go in and just color the whole thing. We're going to have some plant life in there, so don't worry about that a whole lot. The underside of this. Can't really see what all this is. That's okay. Put your lines in. Put some lines in. I know these are the little banister things here. And again, I'm sticking to my story that I've decided that they put some coloring in mine, and that's why they're not the gray and white or the blue that's on the cover of the book. It's what I picked. Okay. Artist's choice. You decide. You decide what you want to do on that. Okay, it's a little darker on this side. You know, we're going to blend. All of this is like plants and bushes, or it is in mine. Yeah, it is. I just thought I would double check. So there is a little bit of color back in here, but most of that is going to be bushes and flowers. So I'm just, again, scooching just a little bit of color in there, so it's not one green mass. Okay, so I've done most of my darks here. Again, using some of those same darks as what we had before in her dress and in her hair. That was the darkest that I just did. Now I'm going to go to the medium and get some coloring in done. That's that little area peeking around her waist again, just like that one was. Just getting the color in there. We'll be a little more precise when we come in with the green and the little buds in a little bit. But till then, I'm just poking the color in. Going around. Just getting that background done. I really don't want my background defined. You see how this sky and this plant area is kind of blurred? I'm good with that for my whole background being blurred. I just really want all the concentration to be on Cinderella trying to get herself out of there in time. That's where I want my concentration. So I really don't have a problem with it being very loosely done. Now I'm going to come to my lightest shade and once again go over everything. Okay. Again, not going to be my focal point. You take as much time on yours as you want. Okay? You make yours as precise as you want. You know, I've seen people do these and that castle looks like it's standing right there. Well, and if that's what you want, you go for it. I think it'll be gorgeous. It's just not what I want. I'm going to add a little bit of white in here just to kind of brighten that up a little bit. I don't want my page going dark on me. And I do want that blended just a bit. I don't want all my streaky lines to show. I don't mind some of them showing because of what it is, but I don't need them all showing up really poorly. And so you know me, I'll use a colored pencil instead of a blender, because that way we're adding more color and getting more of the tooth out of that paper. Still trying to go the direction that the bricks and blocks and stuff are. Still doing that up and down and the angles. Yeah, just we scribble every which way, it's going to show that. And I don't want it to. But see, now she is my focal point and everything else is just kind of back there. Now I'm going to pick up my skin color. And let's see, the lighter one was number 17. Do you think she was wearing white gloves? Ooh, I'm so glad you mentioned that before I put that on. Is she? Can't really tell here. Because of the time era it is, I'm going to guess this is white gloves. And I'm going to come in here and just go over that in white. And I think there's enough gray in the paper that I really don't have to do anything else to that. All right, let's look at the plants. I pulled 3 greens. You'll need to pull 2 or 3. Light, medium, and dark. So I pulled 97, I pulled 69, and I pulled 60. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the very back. Okay, now I think this is a bush too. Yeah, but see, it's just kind of back there. So that may actually become part of my sky. Now this is part of that other bush that's over here. So, do you see how careful I'm being? I'm not. Okay, that's the whole idea. I'm holding my pencil way back and I'm just doing jaggedy stuff. Just jaggedy, yeah. See, jaggedy stuff. Now I'm going to do my next lighter shade. Come over, more jaggedy stuff. It's really kind of strange because it just sticks out there and there's no bottom, but we know it's on one of these. And then I'm going to come in with some lighter. I'm going to do the same thing on these others, but I'm going to try to miss some of these that look like they might be some flowers. Again, I'm getting the darkest background color in first. I'm going to work from my dark to my light. Usually, yeah, normally I would work light to dark, you're right. But I just feel like getting that dark back in there first, getting it done. And then going around what I feel like would be some flowers. Because there's quite a bit of flowers in this. They're these lighter little circle areas. Not a lot of dark here because the light's hitting still. There is a moonlight going on, so don't do too much of that. Just get that in there. You don't have to be real careful. If it's blurred to where you can't see it really well, then I think that gives you creative license to kind of do leaves and stuff wherever you want. All right. Then the next lighter color, it's the medium. I'm going to go over the top. And where we skipped up here earlier, go ahead and get some of that in there. And all that little shimmery that we're going to put in a little bit, all the little dots and stuff. Remember, her fairy godmother was helping her out here. So that's like some of the little fairy godmother help that she got, kind of fluttering away as that clock strikes down. Okay, so I think that's why there's so much of that. All right, just little bits in and out and around. Think of a bad hair day. Yeah, that's kind of how you want to do this. Just really get it in there, bad hair day. And the flowers are going to be mainly up on that top section. So don't go over all of that in the light areas, because we're going to want some of that to be the little buds, the little roses, or whatever flowers you're putting in there. All right, so there's that. And we can come in here some and put all those little dots over the top of that, just a little bit. Okay, so it's not a lot of time taken on that. In fact, I want to finish this up probably in the next video, if not this one. Okay, now I've got this hanging down. Again, being very carefree with it. And you, again, I just can't iterate enough. You have to decide how precise you want to color these. When I'm doing my other fairy tale books by Fabiana, I'm much more particular. But again, on the Fabianas, the lines are a whole lot more precise. I can see exactly what I'm coloring. And on these, I cannot. Now this here is going to be darker because it's right in front of that window. You know how you try to take someone's picture, and if the light's behind them, they show up really dark, like a shadow or a silhouette? That's what all this is, because it's right in front of that window. So don't get this too light. Even though it's got the light on it, it's in front of the window and it makes a difference. Okay, can't believe we've worked on this all day today. Hope you've been working, not just watching. Unless you watch first and then work later, then that's fine. I just hope you're not just watching. I hope you're getting her book and actually coloring along. I think you learn so much more when you're actually doing some of the coloring instead of just watching. That's why I try to do color alongs for most of my Etsy pages. So you've got the page. I think you'll just learn more. Okay, so then the next color lighter, and we're doing good time-wise. It will take one more video though, because I'm not going to just breeze through doing everything with that pen. The jelly roll, I want us to take our time with that. So, just getting all this in here. You pick your greens, you pick what color you want your flowers. Whatever you want to do is fine. See, I'm still not having a real good hold on this pencil. I'm still just kind of pushing it around here and there. It gives the illusion of all that green without me having to really work at coloring in each little leaf or something. Okay? Let's look back again. Yeah, see, it's just bits. It's just in there. All right? So just keep going. Now I'm going to do my lightest green. I changed over. And this is what's going to lighten this whole thing up some, because it was getting a little dark. And we don't want it dark, dark, even though it is like silhouette in front of that window. We could always darken it again if we need to, but I just feel like we need a little bit of light in there, just to keep her in her happy place. I know. Can you imagine a life like she had, and then all of a sudden she gets a break, and then it's snatched away? So glad that God wants so much more for us than a fairy tale. Although with him it can be like a fairy tale, we sure don't deserve what he gives us. So many blessings. So many. Okay, now I've got that done. I've still got greenery here, so I'm going to come back in with the darkest. You got it. See, not being real particular, just making sure I've got green If you've ever done, see, there's even some way over here, some cake decorating where you take the icing and you do these little things all over. You ever done that? Can you see what I did? Have you ever done that type thing? Anyway, it's the same sort of thing. You're just being really just letting it go. You know how I always say don't scribble? Scribble, but go different directions in it and keep it off of her outfit. See, I'm putting my finger here so I can come right up next to it without going into it. So I can actually put my thumb or my finger right here at the edge, and then when I color, I know I've stayed out of her dress. Okay? And in fact, I'm not sure what that is, but I'm going to cover it with green and just made her dress a little bit smaller there. But yeah, so anyway, here's all my bushes. All my bushes. Okay, next shade. More shades. More green. This is some of the easiest way to do bushes and stuff. And you cover a multitude of what you didn't like underneath. Now my lightest shade, because I really want to brighten this up some. So now I am going to do a little bit of the swirls. Just brighten all this up. Do some in here. Now, because I did not leave a place for the flowers, okay, I'm going to take out spots for my flowers. I'm just picking spots. But I'm also bouncing around. I'm not going to go in a straight line or anything because I don't want it to look like little soldier men lined up. Okay? I've never done that before. So let's find a darker color. What is this? This is number 30. Yeah, I usually try these out first, but we're just going to come in here and put our little flowers. If you'll do darker towards the bottom and lighter at the top, you will not have to come back in and shade. Okay, darker at the bottom, lighter on the top. Darker down here, lighter at the top. So color it in and then go over the bottom just a little bit more. Color it in, then go back over the bottom. Is it looking like little flowers? That's just a really easy way to do it if you're looking to not have to put all the detail in, which I don't want to put all the detail in. I put detail in on her already. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing up here, except up here I had already left my little spots. And here I'm going to have several different sizes going on because these urns are potted. I don't know. I just think it's going to look better if I do several different instead of just the circles like I did there. So I'll do some a little bit smaller and some a little bit larger. And it's a way to add a little bit more color. Okay, over here, same thing. This one's bigger, so it's going to have even a little bit more in it. You can see where I left. Was that supposed to be a sparkle? I bet it was. Oops. Okay, I went over a sparkle. So grab the eraser. And we're going to go over the top of it anyway. We're going to add sparkle all over this page. Her fairy godmother really loved sparkle. That's my story. I'm going to stick to it. So yeah, just easy little flowers. Don't stress over this. See, just get some stuff in. All right, I'm thinking that's going to be almost all sparkle. Yep, almost. All right, almost but not quite. I'm going to take these two blues. I've got 14 and 12. 12 is my darker. I'm going to start with my lighter, and I'm going to actually come in here and do some of this. Keep it free. Keep it Bad Hair Day-ish. Okay. You have to be careful because if you went over all that, it might be turning green like mine did just a little. So I'm going to add a little bit of dark in there too. Just have it come around. We're going to put lots of sparkle on there, so it's not really going to matter. She's almost finished. You need to look and see as you're going this time if there's little areas that you missed. I missed that little area right there on the wall. Okay. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to lay this on the side. I know this is supposed to be a tree, but it's not going to be. I'm going to lay this darker of my two blues on the side. I told you already, 12. Okay. I'm going to lay it on its side, and I'm going to take off. It's evening. It's really evening. What was it? Midnight that clock struck? And then get it a little lighter touch as you come out from it. Darker in the middle. Lighter touch as you come out. So see, I did lighter here because it was darker down here through the middle. And then to add interest, I almost always like to make the corners of my page a little bit darker. So I am going to go ahead and do that there. Now, that's not a lot, and it wasn't real hard, was it? Now I'm going to come back in with my lighter one and go over everything that's sky. Go over all the sky. Doesn't matter on this if you go up and down, back and forth, or circles, but whatever you do, if you'll keep doing it, it will look more uniform. And I really liked it a little bit better before I got solid here. I liked it a little bit better when it was like that. So I'm going to come back in and just add some more dark over the top, just to deepen that up a little bit. Okay, just deepen it up. Lighter as I come up. So here, whee! I know, I'm tired. As long as I'm going up and down though, it should be okay. I'll blend that in. Come down through here, the lighter parts here in the middle, and then I'll go over this darker area. And see, I've almost lost it again. So I'll come back in and put some dark over the top, just like I did down at the bottom of the blue. And that'll help pull that in. Yeah, I've done all of the videos for Cinderella in one day, and my eyes feel like they're about to pop out of my head. So I am very tired. I could have split it up, but I figured somebody would probably watch most all of them. So I wanted to go ahead and just get them done. See how I came back in though and added that? And that just kind of breaks it up a bit. I can come back in with my white and go in the middle of this blue area and lighten it up even a little bit more. Okay? Just lighten it up. I do like that. That to me is a nicer looking sky. Okay, we're going to stop. I want you to find your pen. We talked about this pen, this jelly roll. And when we come back, we're going to do all the little details, and that's it, I think. Are we finished after that? All right, be back in a minute.